The next scene opened high in the mountains, where Rogue traveled with two men from the guild. She asked how long it had been since they left the village, and one of them replied while peering through a magnifying glass that this was the 5th day of discreet movement along the mountain range. Rogue noted the fast pace for a secretive march, and he explained that they could not afford to run into the Imperial army. She agreed, then pointed toward a group ahead and questioned who they were and how they had gotten in front. The man explained they were not a search party, but survivors from Changtap village, joined by looters returning to the capital. Another added that judging by their lack of winter gear, they had likely been cut off while moving along the range. Rogue turned to the man crouching nearby and asked what lay along the lower path. He introduced himself as Moran and his companion as Sword Harriet, urging her to at least remember their names. He explained that the lower road passed by small households that would likely be raided for supplies. Harriet added that plundering was common for Imperial knights since the current emperor had taken the throne. Rogue stated that she must end them. Her words alarmed her companion, but before he could react, she vanished from sight. She descended rapidly and struck the looters, her sudden attack causing confusion. One shouted about a commotion, another questioned if it was an ambush, and Rogue confirmed it was. From above, one of her companions asked if she was desperate to die, but Moran told him the man was already dead. Down below, soldiers hurried to alert their chief about the intruder. Rogue fought fiercely, surrounded on all sides. A female soldier shouted for her troops to block the retreat and surround the enemy, but before she could continue, Rogue appeared behind her and decapitated her. She mocked her words, repeating them with anger, holding the head on her sword and staring into its empty eyes, remarking that they were nothing but decoration. She summoned a monstrous army that overwhelmed the soldiers. Her allies watching from above realized that the power she had shown at the Adventurers Guild had not been her full strength. The monsters crushed the enemy forces as Rogue herself cut down heads in rage, declaring it the Wraith of Changtap village. Seeing the battle nearly decided, Moran told his companion that the tide had turned and they should go down. Rogue sat upon a monster horse, surrounded by the corpses of fallen soldiers. When one soldier attacked from behind, she dodged, countered with a kick, and broke his mask. As he fell, a pendant slipped from his neck. The sight of it triggered a memory. Long ago, a man had handed her the same pendant as a token of apology for doubting her. Embarrassed, he had explained that it was a charm made by his daughter, wishing for an adventurer's safe return. Rogue had accepted it gladly, promising to thank her. But the man had revealed that his daughter was killed by the Imperial army 2 years earlier. She had apologized for her careless words, but he told her not to, explaining that everyone there carried wounds, cursed the Empire, and burned their remaining lives for revenge. He had warned her not to ruin her life with the same hatred, reminding her that someone was always waiting for everyone in the world. The memory ended as Rogue stared at the pendant. In her thoughts, she begged Skull not to go too far. Nearby, a monster struck at the heart of a soldier. As he fell, he gasped apologies to his daughter Michelle before dying. Rogue silently watched, then swiftly avenged him by killing the monster. Moran and his companion joined her, praising her efforts and promising to handle the cleanup so she could rest. They explained that corpses would be needed to create undead, but Rogue gave no reply. Instead, she stood silently as they began burning the bodies. Moran remarked that she was odd, choosing cremation instead of raising undead. Harriet added that her expression carried sorrow, though he could not say for whom. Still, she remained quiet, staring at the flames. From within her, the voice of her own darkness emerged, mocking her with cruel words. It reminded her that despair had only begun and that her choices would drive her deeper into it. It told her that she could not escape fate. Rogue tried to silence it, demanding the dead remain in the underworld, but the voice only laughed, taunting her further. She listened in silence,